3 cases of the Indian variant of COVID-19 have been identified in Ireland. 2 of the 3 cases are associated with travel, and the National Public Health Emergency Team briefing told us last night. We're asking, does this indicate our mandatory quarantine system is inefficient, or is it that it is actually working? And for more on all of this, I'm joined by Professor Liam Fanning, Professor of Immunovirology at UCC. Liam, I don't quake when I hear that the mandatory quarantine system has picked up cases of variants, etc. To me, that means it's working.
Good morning, Ciara. I'd be in the same vein. Look, I think we've become paralysed by variant this, variant that. We almost have a variant per country at this stage, the way things are going. And these vaccines have been shown to be very effective against the backbone of most of these variants. And, it'll be a quantitative difference as to whether it knocks it out, gives us efficacy of 94% or less. You know what I mean? So we're not starting from zero if you're vaccinated. I agree with you. We have become kind of over concerned about variants. They are concerning. But, these vaccines are very good, and the quarantine system is picking them up, and that's good news. India probably should be added to Ireland's red list now because of, so, it's good news. Look, it took us a long time to get here with regard to quarantining, and I think the population needs this dividend, if you like, of the quarantine system to protect us from this being seeded into the population. We saw what happened last summer. It was seeded into the population. 1.7 coming in from the UK. So I'm not too...
No, I would agree with you. And can you just put it in context for people? Because I know people are worried about this. People have said it to me, there's a new variant, And I sometimes wonder, is it the media looking for a new angle all the time on COVID? Because we're all talking about it ad nauseum and have been for a year. And there's constant need for new bits to it. But people are talking about this double mutant and all of this. Can you just put a bit of context on this for people? Because I suppose to allay their fears, I do believe people are afraid of these things.
Okay, so to put a bit of context on it, viruses change all the time, as we now know, and people appreciate at this stage. And these vaccines have a B cell and a T cell response. And when you put the two together, the immune system, for the most part, has the upper hand. And we're able to deal with... So this protein is called 1,273 amino acids long. That's quite long. So we have many targets which our immune system can attack. And this virus is trying to adapt and change. And it changes some of them, but it doesn't change all of them. So therefore, we can have confidence that these vaccines will have some efficacy with regard to these new variants. So it's a bit like the flu. We don't get paralysed every time the vaccine, makeup for the flu vaccine changes every year. And that's because we're probably, we're not as media aware of the flu changes, even though we've had pandemics of flu in the past. And I think, there needs to be just a sense of kind of, these vaccines are very good. These variants are part of the natural history of virology. And these are something that, we don't want. So where these variants are concerned, really going to hit us if we had an immunocompromised individual who was perhaps given a suboptimal dose of the vaccine, and perhaps you could get a vaccine escape that way. That would be one of the, if there's 2 things in virology. If you have no pressure, you tend not to get mutation. If you have suboptimal pressure, you tend to get resistance. And that's the way it works at the moment. You know what I mean? We have it with HIV and medicine and medicine all the time. So I would agree, we take note of them, we investigate them, and as you know, everybody's going to call it either a variant of interest or a variant under investigation. And we don't
even know yet if this Indian one is a variant of concern, insofar as that there is a surge in India, but India social distancing, etc., isn't what it might be elsewhere, and all of those things are in play here too.
Correct, and I could tell you the various variants that this particular Indian virus has. But you know what? At the end of the day, all people want to know is we'll say for like the Pfizer, the RNA vaccine is going to protect us against the variant. And the answer is, if you have the vaccine, you're not starting from zero. You're in an immune better state than if you don't have the vaccine. And therefore, get this vaccine out. Get us all, if you like, Pfizered or Moderna, or whatever the phrase is, colloquial phrase is now. But get these vaccines into our arms so that we can have, as a nation, better protected, backed up by public health measures and quarantining, and maybe put India on the list.